Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. At least 78 people have been killed in a crush at a school in the Yemeni capital Sana'a during a distribution of charity for Ramadan. Shoes, clothing and other debris line the scene where the stampede happened. Hundreds of people had crowded into the school to receive donations, which amounted to about $9 per person. The Prime Minister of the Houthi movement told reporters a full investigation was underway. Houthi rebels have run the city since they drove out the government in 2015. The event happened during the final days of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, which is marked by a period of fasting. Norway's ambassador to Sudan says conditions are hellish in the capital Khartoum amid intense fighting between rival military factions. It comes as the fighting continues for a 6th day. Prolonged gunfire and explosions have been heard throughout the night, marking the failure of the second ceasefire attempt in as many days. Residents have been fleeing Khartoum, fearful about dwindling food supplies and the collapse of medical services. Clashes have been reported elsewhere in Sudan too. The UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is due to hold online talks with the leaders of regional bodies, including the African Union, the Arab League and IGAD, in the hope of arranging a workable ceasefire.
Bringing together the chairperson of the African Union, the Secretary General of the Arab League, and also the Executive Secretary of IGAD and other relevant organizations. The continued heavy fighting in Sudan is having devastating consequences for Sudanese civilians, as well as our staff and other members of the international community who are caught in the crossfire. We reiterate to the parties to the conflict that they must respect international law.
The K-pop star Moonbin has died at the age of 25, that's according to his record label. He was found unresponsive by his manager at his apartment in Seoul. Police say it appeared he has taken his own life, but that an autopsy was being carried out. His record label said in a statement, Moonbin unexpectedly left our world and became a star in the sky. 2 people have been killed after severe thunderstorms rolling through the Midwest in the United States have produced several tornadoes. The rural town of Cole in Oklahoma was hit hard by a monster tornado, ripping off roofs, knocking down trees, dropping golf ball-sized hail and causing widespread power outages. The causes of the deaths were not yet immediately available. British pop star Elton John has urged US senators not to ease up on the fight against HIV and AIDS.
Well, thank you, Elton. Let me return the compliment. Thank you for what you have done.
It comes as Congress faces a September deadline for reauthorizing the multi-billion-dollar US program to fight the disease.
We need to keep our foot on the accelerator. We've come so far in such a short time, relatively. By extending PEPFAR for another 5 years and fully funding it, together, we can continue the march towards ending AIDS for everyone, everywhere, and leave no one behind. Bravo, my friends. There is no better symbol of American greatness than PEPFAR, and you should all be very proud of your extraordinary efforts.
And a rare solar eclipse has thrilled thousands of people who flocked to a remote Australian town for the best vantage point on Earth to watch it.
Go, Young, Son, Ni, Ich.
Astronomy fans and enthusiasts from around the world travelled to Exmouth, a tiny beachside town roughly 1,200 kilometres from the state capital Perth, to witness the phenomenon. The sky turned dark for about 60 seconds on Thursday when the moon cast a 40-kilometre wide shadow over the area. The total solar eclipse was part of a rare hybrid eclipse which occurs only a handful of times per century. Partial eclipses were also visible across other parts of the Asia-Pacific. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.